So, Bryony, what's it like to be here today in front of this trampoline that must mean so much to you?
Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. It's one of my earlier club visits, so I'm really excited to kind of see everyone after the Olympics. And super special trampoline behind me is the actual trampoline I competed on at the Olympics and won in. So I'm really excited to see it and see everyone's faces because they don't know about it. It's a surprise.
Is it a really amazing part of your role as an Olympic gold medalist to know that you're inspiring the next generation?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I hope that my kind of persistence and stubbornness to be able to get to the top level and can kind of inspire people to not give up and that they can do it. And I know that there's a lot of trampolinists out there that are much more talented than me. So if you have that and hard work, you can make it to the top.
Talk us through what the whole experience of being out in Paris was like this summer and your memories of being on that trampoline.
Paris was amazing. I absolutely loved the atmosphere of the crowd, and my family were there to watch and be able to visit because it was so close. A lot of friends and family were there. So for it to be so close and so special, it was just an amazing, fantastic time. The competition itself kind of just had to, I guess, hold my nerve for the prelims to make sure I made it into the final. I was going into the final in fifth, knowing that I had to step up my game to be able to give it a shot for the medals. And just kind of was aware of the competition and made a slight mistake in my routine. So when I finished, I wasn't sure if it was going to be enough, but to see my name on top of the leaderboard, to know that I had a chance to become an Olympic champion was just an amazing moment. And knowing as well that it was definitely a podium place. And that was 3 Olympics, 3 medals. It just felt really complete.
I think your emotional reaction to finding out you got the gold for so many people will be one of the highlights of the games and one of the things they remember. Can you remember what went through your head at that moment?
So I just couldn't believe it. I was in shock, I think. But just all of the years of hard work to pay off in that way, and just to make it on top of the podium and know that I'm an Olympic champion for the rest of my life is just the most amazing feeling. And yeah, to do that in front of an amazing crowd and my friends and family it made it so much more special, because obviously couldn't have anyone watching at Tokyo, and then just my parents were able to see it at Rio, and my coach. So yeah, just to be able to kind of experience that and it be so special was amazing.
And you'd won a silver medal, then the bronze medal, and then a gold medal. What impact has winning gold had on you and also on the profile of trampolining in this country?
I think, I don't know what it's like for the profile trampolining at the moment. Still trying to kind of figure that out a bit. But I think after Rio Olympics, that definitely raised the profile, having it being the first Olympic medal. And then, so I think that was for me the biggest change, where people kind of went from not really knowing that trampolining was a sport to recognising it as an Olympic sport. And I think being flag bearer for the closing ceremony at these games, that felt so big for trampolining for me. It felt like Team GB and the country kind of could see trampolining as amongst all the other Olympic sports that had been succeeding for so long. So that just felt a really, really special moment.
And what's it like to be back in a trampolining gym like this, where when you were younger you must have spent so many times as a young person taking up trampolining, getting to know the sport? What's it like being back here, and we've got so many excited young people who are going to be arriving in a sec to meet you?
It's weird being on the other side of that, I guess. I remember when I was younger and watching the Olympics, when 2000, watching Lee really compete. That was when I was first introduced into the Olympics, and remember going to one of the competitions, seeing him there, and we were wanted to ask him a question, and my coach kind of went up and were like, Lee, these girls want to ask you a question. We were like, no, we don't make us do it. So I know how nervous it can be talking to people that have been on TV and gone to the Olympics. So and we did eventually ask him the question after a little, braving ourselves up, and it was, why do men put chalk on their legs for trampolining? And just for grip, and it was really lovely and responded really nicely. So just want to return that favour and just know that I'm probably just as nervous as they are to answer the question that it is to ask it. So it's really special to be somewhere like this and just see the excitement in people's faces, and I think I'm just as excited to see that trampoline as they are. So yeah, really excited.
I'm Isaac Eley, and I'm in age group 11 to 12 competing nationally.
What do you love about trampolining? How old were you when you took it up, and what makes you come back week after week to train?
Well, I was 7 when I started, and it's just amazing. The stuff you get to do by just simply jumping up and down. You can see, Bryony, for example, she can do triple backs, and that's just a brilliant and such a cool thing to do, honestly. It amazes me.
So talk through your memories of watching Bryony win her gold medal at the Olympics. Where were you and what did it feel like watching her do so well?
I mean, I was at a very popular camp where it's hundreds of trampolinists who had just gone to a camp in Somerset to trampoline and train, and we all packed up in this hall and big screen watching Bryony do so well. It was so amazing. Yeah, you could just see her do some moves no one at the camp could do, and it was just so impressive.
So what's it like to have her here today in your club that you come to week in, week out?
It's amazing. I've gobsmacked really, because I just turned the corner, I saw her, and I was just immediately nervous, because she's like one of the most massive characters, well, probably the most massive in the trampolining community, and to meet her and just to be able to see her is brilliant.
My name's Stella Jackson, and I'm founder of the centre where Sky High is based. That's Abounds Trampoline Centre.
So what inspired you to open the centre here in Uckfield?
I'd been coaching my daughter from the age of 2, and then when she grew up and I wanted to start a club, I'd done competitive trampoline myself when I was younger, and I wanted to start a club. So I was coaching across various leisure centres, having to put the equipment up, take it down, however many training sessions a week we had. And the opportunity came up in Uckfield. We travelled all over the place looking for places, because you need a hall that's got at least 10 metres in height, and that's one of the restrictions on finding somewhere for a trampoline club.
So somewhere like this that we're in now doesn't come up very often?
No, absolutely not, and actually it had actually been, we weren't actually intending to come this far to East Sussex. We were based in West Sussex at the time, but this came up, and it was a rent which we felt we could achieve, but we had to get change of use because it was an old industrial unit. It had been empty for 6 or 7 years before we got it, and we had to persuade the local council and the district council to let it to us, because they wanted it to go to industrial use, and we decided we wanted it for us. We were very lucky. We got some good support from various organisations, including a couple of schools locally, and and then we started in 2009.
So how far do people travel to come here? Because you've said that there aren't that many opportunities to do trampolining at this level across the southeast.
That's right. So I think the furthest our gymnasts come from is probably Hastings and Worthing. We've got some that come from there. We've got some come from Haywards Heath. So some come from West Sussex as well.
And are you busy entering competitions throughout the year?
Oh yes, we have lots and lots of competitions we enter. We have 4 regional competitions. We have 4 county competitions. Then there's national competitions if they're a reasonable enough standard. And we have done international competitions before. We've had several gymnasts who've been on the Great British Squad, including one who actually was training with Bryony until just recently, Louise Brownsey. So yes, we've had some lots and lots of competitions, and we intend to do more. I'm hoping to do an international one next year.
So how inspiring is it for your gymnasts to see Louise and others come up through the club?
Yeah, it's amazing. They do get inspired by so many of these older ones that do so well, and we encourage them to start from. We have a development group which starts at 5. We've got recreational classes before that, but the development group for the squads start at 5, and so they see the older ones who are, more experienced and do such hard things on the trampolines, and they want to do the same thing. So it's very inspiring, and to have our Olympic champion here today is absolutely amazing.
The trampoline that I competed on at the Olympics.
My name is Abby. I'm a trampoline gymnastics coach here at Sky High Trampoline Gymnastics Academy.
What's it been like today to have Bryony Page at your club?
amazing. Bryony is the best trampolinist in the UK currently, Olympic medalist, world medalist, European medalist. To have her here is so inspiring for all of our gymnasts and the local trampoline community as well. We've had other clubs come down as well, which is really exciting.
Tell me the story about how this trampoline has come to be at your club.
So we were looking for a new trampoline and we got told that the next load were from the Paris Olympic. We could get it second hand, so we reserved it back in June. And it arrived in the UK a couple of weeks ago. I found out that it was the one that Bryony had jumped on and won her medal. So I contacted her about coming down and she said, yeah, she'd love to. So she came down today.
And how inspiring do you think this has been for all these young people at the club?
So inspiring. We've had hundreds of people here today to meet her, to ask her questions, and they're so inspired, and hopefully it will help the new generation of gymnasts coming through.
And what difference will it make having a trampoline that's not only the absolute highest quality trampoline you can get, but also something with some really significant history behind it? How's that going to motivate all of your athletes in their training sessions?
I'm hoping it's going to help them jump higher and be really inspired and motivated to do more. To be able to jump on the trampoline that Olympians have jumped on, the best in the world, must be amazing, and to have it here in Uckfield is outstanding.
I am Maya and I'm 15 years old.
So how long have you been coming to the club?
Since I was about 10 years old, so about 5 years now.
So similar age to when Bryony, I think she said she was 9, wasn't she, when she took it up? So what's it like to get to meet an athlete who's done so well in trampolining like her?
It's really inspirational and also quite motivational for us, because I feel like sometimes it can be quite difficult, and that kind of knowing that she started at a similar age to me and how far she's got, it kind of inspires me to do the same.
So what have been your highlights of being part of the club? Are there some special competitions that have stood out?
I think it must be actually the trip we went on to Portugal, and that was really an amazing opportunity. We kind of got to train in Portugal, and yeah, that was really amazing.
And what do you like the best about trampolining? Because I imagine it's hard work. They're long training sessions, aren't they? But what makes you come back every week?
I think it's probably getting the new skills, because you kind of lose hope sometimes, and then you get these new skills and it's really just makes you feel good about yourself and that you can do it.
What was the most interesting thing you learnt from what Bryony told us just now during the question and answer session?
Well, it's probably about my question about how to balance schoolwork, because I'm doing my GCSEs this year and therefore it can get quite a lot, but I think it's quite good to know that I need to plan out my sessions beforehand.
So you actually got some really practical advice from the Olympic champion.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And looking over at that very special trampoline, how excited are you to get a go on it?
Oh, I am super excited. I feel like I am very particular about the trampolines. I like really bouncy ones, and obviously that one's going to be very bouncy, so I'm super excited to try it.
So Amelia, what was it like to meet Bryony?
I think it was a really good experience, and it was very inspirational just to meet someone who's just gone through loads of stuff and overcome so much.
Did you ask her a question during the question and answer?
I did. I asked her what her favourite part about trampolining was. She said mainly just being on the trampoline, just doing all her tricks and flips, just everything.
And did you learn quite a lot from all the answers she gave?
Yes, I did.
And how excited are you to have a go on that trampoline?
Very excited.
So I've got two sisters here. Can you tell me what your names are?
Olivia and Caitlin.
Did either of you ask a question during our question and answer session? Tell me what you asked.
I asked, what's your hardest move that you can do?
And for both of you, how much are you looking forward to getting to go on the Olympic trampoline yourselves?
Excited.
And tell me what you both like best about trampolining.
I like all of those skills that you can do, and you can just bounce around and do lots of fun things. I like learning new skills on the trampoline, so then you can actually do them during your competitions. I'm Nancy.
So you've just met Bryony. What was it like?
Really cool.
Did you feel you picked up some quite handy tips for your own trampolining from her?
Yeah, definitely.
So looking over at that trampoline, that's the trampoline she won the gold medal on. Are you looking forward to having a go on it soon?
Yeah, definitely.
How special will it feel going on that trampoline that all of the world's best trampolinists have been on?
Very special.
So what was it like to actually get to ask a question to Bryony? Or two questions in your case?
It was amazing because she answered them so perfectly. It completely answered my actual initial questions, and further on it was incredibly helpful.
And we're standing right next to the Olympic trampoline. How excited are you about having a go?
I mean, I'm shocked because there was a massive surprise. It's like the one that I would love to train on, and it's going to be like my everyday trampoline. Like 5 days a week I'll get to go on a trampoline Bryony Page won the gold medal on, and it's just amazing.